Yeah, Coco Gauff aiming to reach the last 8 here at the Australian Open for the very first time in her career. She starts a warm favourite. Didn't really have to work particularly hard in the previous round against Alicia Parks, fellow American who just struggled to keep the ball in court enough. Or too many errors that afternoon.
Yeah, this will be a very different match for Gauff, where she will hit a lot of balls. She'll be able to get into rallies against an opponent who will try to extend the points long enough. Maybe get some misses, get some opportunities.
(30-15). Ball.
You can see already Frech just looking for opportunities to try to outmaneuver Gauff. Gauff, one of the quickest players on tour, if not the quickest. That's not going to be easy to do, but she's also, Frech, got to look for openings on her forehand side.
Let for service.
Again, you saw the shape on the forehand early. Doing a lot of work.
40.
Promising start from the US Open champion. Full of purpose.
First game.
Oftentimes, these are the early opportunities, especially for a top player, to come out if they're ready to play, playing aggressively. You know, they've got that bit of an R as well. And Gauff, she is using it beautifully here.
What changed with the forehand over the summer, Chandler? Because obviously there was a lot of attention on it. What was she doing that made it a more consistent shot over the course of that American summer and beyond?
I think for me, it's been her mindset with regard to the forehand. You've got to go after that shot aggressively the more extreme your grip is. And it's kind of counterintuitive. You often see Gauff at times try to push it or guide it. That's the opposite approach that you want to have. And it's not easy to get under the ball with the grips that she has. But that, I think, has been the change. She's gotten her body into better position, leaning into the shots more instead of open stance falling away. So it's been some small changes, but it has made a big difference. And we also see Gauff now trying to run around and hit forehands inside out. She did that at the U.S. Open against Sabalenka.
30 love.
Showing you the different approach that she's taking to that shot. And then, of course, the serve. She has started adding more MPHs or KPHs, depending on where you are in the world. She's hitting it bigger.
Yeah, 7K, in fact, she has up at the moment here in Melbourne compared to the US Open. So getting more speed out of that first delivery, having worked in the off-season on it. This is a lightning start.
I also think this will be a match where Gauff can hit out on the forehand even more, continue to build confidence on that side. Frech hits a nice ball cross court, but it sits up just enough. It gives Gauff just enough time to feel a little bit more comfortable. And then the backhand, that is just the money shot. Question for Frech is going to be, can she extend enough of these rallies and get Gauff into challenging enough positions to maybe create some misses, give herself an opening.
Ball. Game, Gauff.
He's like to take the second serve on.
Gauff plays right to
Didn't get her feet arranged there. Petco does. Gauff, to me, athletically, physically, just looks a little more developed than she was perhaps last year. Are you seeing that as well?
100%. I said it right away when I walked out. I saw her first 2 matches on the screen, on TV. Now sitting courtside, she's definitely looks much stronger than she's looked at the US Open. She looks incredible, so fit, so defined. And she's been doing a tremendous job in using those angles beautifully. You can see that Magda likes to hold the line right in front of that Melbourne sign, and Coco has been doing a good job in dragging her in.
Left for service. Thirty love.
Do you feel as though if she's going to hit that serve, it's got to go in with a bit more pace? Well, that was just right in the slot.
$40-15.
It's more like it.
Cain.
Without doubt, one of the biggest days in her career so far. And she'll be relieved to be up and running here.
Yeah, that was crucial for Frech to at least get on the board. Feel like she can settle in a little bit more. Difficult stages of a match for a more inexperienced player, you know, in terms of the level that they've played at. Frech, of course, a few years older than Gauff, more than a few, but Gauff has been at this level for so much longer. And so you want to try to get your legs into the match as quickly as possible, try to start building a little belief, which is going to be difficult enough with what we've seen so far from Coco Gauff. This is part of the fun of being here at the Australian Open, around the grounds.
Yeah.
Get selfies with the walking tennis balls.
Absolutely. The last pole standing in the women's draw. Who would have thought that? After Iga Swiatek's early defeat last night to a very impressive Linda Noskova. Let's not take anything away from the 19-year-old. Seems as though she's got a big future ahead of her.
Love.
Here's the extra pace coming from on the serve. What has she changed, Chana, that you've seen with this delivery, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more of her going up and out after the ball. Doesn't look to be much technically, although there could be some minute changes there, but overall it's just getting a little more upward trajectory.
There really isn't much that gets over Coco Gauff's head. What an athlete.
And she's already, as you mentioned, extremely athletic. She can make adjustments that most players would struggle to make. Go from defense to offense, covers a lot of ground. And on the serve, it's already been a big weapon in her game. It's just getting it consistently, hitting her targets and going after it the way she seems to be doing now.
Yeah, I actually put the two serves side by side this morning at the US Open, and the one thing I noticed is that the start's a little higher. US Open, she was starting lower. Here, she's starting a little bit higher and kind of getting into the throw, from my eyes, a little bit quicker. That's what it seemed.
Well, I also think it's very small, but I think she's making it more continuous as well, and maybe that start has something to do with it, but the motion itself.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, to be able to rely on it and create those bigger speeds, but also to rely on it more under pressure.
Been a feature of her play over the first 3 rounds. This second serve return, she likes to get on top.
There used to be just a little bit more of a pause.
Yeah.
She got the arm up.
Yeah. It's a slightly faster action, isn't it? In terms of just how quickly she, it gets up to the ball.
Cain, Gauff.
You agree, Petko? Are you seeing that down there? What are your observations on the serve?
By 3 games to
Yeah,
1.
the serve looks really good. The only thing from courtside you can see sometimes her toss is a bit in front. That's when she hits the net. But other than that, it's perfect. What I just want to add from courtside, it's so fun to watch Coco Gauff move in and out and how smart she contests these rallies. She knows exactly when to accelerate, when to take a bit out. And she's had that forever. And that's such a great instinct for the sport of tennis. It's mesmerizing to watch this close up. And this was a perfect point that just underlined it. She got enough shape on the ones when she was under pressure. She got into the court when she had the chance. It's just really from the sidelines, if you get the chance, is highly recommended. 10-10 recommended.
Love 30.
Well, if you're Frech, you go into a match like this and, you know, you've got the book on a player like Gauff. Try to play her forehand if you can. Maybe go to the backhand just to open up that forehand court, but beat on the forehand. Well, so far, Frech is not getting a lot from the Gauff forehand. Not getting a lot of openings, not getting a lot of misses, and that shot is actually starting to drive her back a bit. It still may be the side to go to, but Gauff is trying to establish here early that that's not going to be the way to beat me.
Sure. Just giving Frech so little time to settle on the ball at the moment.
14.
Made a lot of first serves so far, but without getting too many rewards from them. 13 of 16 she's made, but winning well below 50%. Just rushed it, had ample time, somewhat made a mess of it, and it's Coco Gauff. It's already a double break to the good here.
Gauff out to a quick start. Of course, there's still a lot more of this match to be played, and you see Frech just trying to figure it out, trying to figure out openings, tendencies. And it's not easy in real time against a player of this caliber coming out first time in this type of situation. So you expect her to at least figure out some ways to work her way into this match, but you just see early how focused Gauff is on being more aggressive in all these different areas of the court. And I think that's an area for her game to grow. Gauff still improving as we see sight lines above Rod Laver Arena. Downtown district in the distance.
Another overcast afternoon in Melbourne, but it's been a bright start by a lady that will be up in the world rankings again, regardless of what happens here on in. And there is one of the all-time greats. A man, of course, whose stadium is named in his honour. Flew in yesterday, I'm told, did Rod. And it's just been shown on the big screen.
Love.
Yeah, she'll be up to number 3 in the world. Well, Coco, because Jess Pegula's dropping after her early defeat.
All.
And just something, Magda has picked up the pace a bit. I think she's trying because she feels like her regular game is not quite enough to push Coco back, so she's trying to hit the ball just a bit harder.
An apology, but it was a very genius shot. Such a potent spread again.
40-15.
Look at the shots taken inside the baseline, Chanda. Enormous difference.
And that's normally what we see Frech trying to do a little bit more of to add weight to her game, but Gauff right now is not allowing it. It's been Gauff taking the initiative.
Game Gauff. Gauff leads by 5 games to 1.
You can hear the encouragement for Gauff from her team. Very pleased, and rightfully so, pleased with what they are seeing so far.
It's been some strike rate at the majors because this is her 18th major already, which is quite extraordinary considering she's only 19. And she's aiming for a 6th quarter-final in 18 majors, so you consider her tender years. It's incredible.
Love 15.
Again, Frech trying to get a little more pace, a little more depth behind her shots. It's causing a few more misses off her racket, and that is concerning here. Where can she go to? Challenge for Frech is she's got to go to the backhand some to try to open up some more space to the forehand side. But she's put herself at risk going to the Gauff backhand. Fortunate to get that last miss.
No respite, is there?
15-20.
That was that transition that Pekka, you were talking about, how quickly she went from a defensive position to an offensive one there. So sharp.
And even off of a terrific serve, Frech still not able to create much. Gauff turning the tables, cutting the return off somehow, and then just shifting slightly defensive to offensive.
Ball.
The cut above right now is 19-year-old Coco Gauff dominating the opening match on Rod Laver. She leads 6-1.
It just looks so comfortable for Gauff right now, even on serve. It just looks like she has her pick of spots. She's comfortably hitting different areas of the service box. I don't think we've reached full speed yet, has she?
Out. Right to love.
We're getting there. She's getting a little quicker and quicker. Her fastest serve here, I think, has been 194.
Yeah.
It's not her fastest, though,
Nope,
for the
199,
tournament
I
yet.
think, isn't it, Chana?
She's still got a couple miles per hour more that she can put on the ball, and that is the fastest serve of the tournament that she's hit at 199.
Ball.
Even half an hour, in fact, just on it.
Forward to 15.
Started the year down in Auckland, as she likes to do. Beautiful event down there. Giving away the winner once again. Second time she's won that tournament. Good one. Gauff's volley perhaps wasn't quite as she wanted it, but take nothing away from the pole.
And Frech just still fighting, trying to find some kind of spark, and especially here to start this second set. This would be a moment, these first couple of games, to try to create a bit of a turnaround.
Game Gauff.
Gauff not allowing it.
First game, second set.
Clean hold of serve to start the second set. And we sometimes forget last season it started for Gauff. The titles started in Auckland. She had such an incredible run in August going into the US Open, winning 3 big titles. But Auckland, sort of a sign.
Yep.
Difficult conditions. She had to make adjustments. There was rain. They went indoors at one point. And at the end of the week, she was the one standing with the title.
Yeah, there's the average ground stroke speeds, and you can see the substantial difference on both. And of course, you couple that with how early she's taking it. It's double trouble in many ways. There's the forehand heaviness to go with it. Everything's in her favor so far. Pekka, what can Frech do here? It's obviously, we talked so much about how well Gauff's playing, but what can she do to try and counter some of this pressure?
Ball.
Well, Nick, she's finding herself in a really, really difficult position. When she goes for more than she usually does, she plays against her nature and risks more unforced errors that she's not used from herself and gets frustrated. If she continues to play her game, she just has no chance today because Coco Gauff is playing so well and so patient. And this is the perfect example. She tried again to find more depth, find more pace, and then the unforced errors creep in. She either has to hope that Coco's level drops dramatically, or that she finds that pace and depth that she needs to push Coco back today.
It's a nice point there from Frech. But that's one of the things that's been most noticeable since the start of this match, how patient Gauff has been. Just looks calm, her body in control. Not a lot of stress that you can see on her face. This would be a tremendous effort from Frech. Hold serve, stay on serve.
Ball. Game Frech. 1 game.
I have to say, I love the journey that she's been on in her career, because if you look at kind of her very first year on tour, 2016, she ended that year 300. A year later, she was 172. A year later, 150. A year later, 200. A year later, 156. That's 5, 6 years without breaking the top 100. Even 2022, she ended at 200 in the world. And then last year, for the first time, was able to make an impression inside the top 100. It takes a lot of persistence, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's been a study more in longevity for Frech.
For service.
And now, having broken the top 100 for the first time, She's going to be inside the top 50, so it's a big leap.
Well, and it's a different thing playing consistently at that level as well. I mean, you look at how long it's taken her. I mean, looking at some of her career highs at different times. 2018, she was 115 in the world.
Yep.
And it took her until the end of 2021 to get inside the top 100. 15 spots doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a hard move.
And then you've got to factor in the financial side, Chandra, as well.
Absolutely.
Not making a lot of money when you're necessarily outside the top 100 for that period of time, are you?
And the top 100 is always significant because that pretty much guarantees you first round, spots in majors, main draw spots. That is a huge boost. Big part of the financial viability for players playing week in and week out, if they can get into every major. That's been tough going for Frech, but if she can just keep a little bit of tension in this set, holding serve, trying to find some openings on the Gauff serve, she can at least maybe give herself a shot here.
Brilliant serving.
Gauff leads by 2 games.
Up the numbers a little bit in set number 2. She keeps the pressure on, set 2-1.
Gauff just understanding so beautifully how to play with more pressure, more expectation on her shoulders, and that hasn't always been easy. But it's, I think, a different mindset we're seeing in Coco Gauff as well. Of course, now she's a major champion. That, I think, lifted a lot of, the monkey off of her back, so to speak. All the talk about when she was going to win her first major, the expectation for her to do it as a teenager. And so to finally kind of get that pressure off, I think we are seeing a more relaxed Coco Gauff as well.
Yep.
Time.
Big evening in store here. They like to put on a show. And in fact, tonight we'll have the cast of Elvis, A Musical Revolution performing before the night session.
But already we see
15 love.
Some adjustments that Frech is trying to make here, trying to get inside the court, into the net, and doing it earlier in the rally. Did it in her last service game, starting this one the same way.
Try to catch her out, and again you test her on a long run, and very often you're going to come up short.
And drop shot Coco Gauff at your own peril, and you could see Frech, as she realized Gauff was going to get to this drop shot with enough time, started backing up, trying to save her body.
15-13.
Continues to spread the court so effectively. She stays through the backhand. Head so still. So balanced.
She even gets that bit of luck. Gauff does.
15-14.
Net cord just dribbling over. And it's more break points on offer.
(30-14).
That time Frech able to get just a little more depth. Gauff a little further back in the court. Perhaps why she missed the backhand. Just didn't gauge how much height she needed on that shot.
Ball. Advantage, Frech.
Should be a big game to come through for obvious reasons. For the pole.
Use.
Coco needs to be a bit careful here. She's lost a bit of the dimension of her game, meaning she's hitting more through the court rather than using the angles like she has in the first set. And Magdalena Frech has really settled in nicely into this match. The rallies are getting longer.
Not up.
It's just so unfortunate. I guess you could argue that the purpose was there, so perhaps she deserves it, but
Advantage.
it's not what this lady needed.
Well, it's the second net cord in this game that has given Gauff break point.
Yeah.
Bad luck for Frech there.
Yeah, there's a fairly big disparity in the score, but if you look at the rallies over 9 shots, there's a significant difference at the moment in favor of the American. 13 she's won of the 16 played through a set and a bit.
Ball.
was an excellent dig. Exasperation on the face of Magda Frech, who does now fall behind a set and a break. Just wonder whether she actually just ended up watching the pass, because there was a lot of height to it. Which she might get there, but not to be. It's amazing when you look back to last summer, and we alluded to the fact that those 4 defeats, the only 4 defeats that Coco has suffered since the start of the American summer last year, were to Pegula in Montreal, Świątek in Beijing, Świątek again in Cancun, and Pegula in Cancun. So top 5 opposition. The only players to have beaten her in what is now a 6-month period.
And players with a particular skill set and that ability to kind of go toe-to-toe with Gauff, either on pace, movement, or both.
Mm-hmm.
First real opening for Frech on the Gauff serve. Love 30. It's not generated a break point yet.
$15-30. All.
Frech just mistiming that ball, not getting it solidly, miss hit, sending it well long, and Gauff with a nice recovery. After losing the first 2 points in this service game, 3 in a row.
And that is now 19 successive holds in a row as well for the American, who's got a double break in the bag.
And it just started raining, guys, down here, so I don't know whether they will close the roof or just wait it out. But it is raining here, lightly, but still raining.
Do you think that would help Frech a little bit here?
I think she needs it.
She needs something to change. I don't know what, but...
Diplomatic answer, Petko.
That's why it took me a while to reply. I was thinking about something to say.
Yeah, we got your vibe.
Right now, Coco Gauff does not want anything changed. And you gotta love those shirts. It was Call Me Coco. Well, let's cross out the Coco. Call Me Champion.
Yes.
After that U.S. Open win.
Yeah, she actually revealed, didn't she, in a post-match press conference a couple of days ago, some words that her brother had told her, Cody, just prior to the US Open last year, he talked about actually having a mindset of, you've got to win 3 sets. You've got to win in 3 sets at times of the majors. Think longer. And she actually said it made quite a big impact on her in terms of just sort of that durability, having that durability. It made her maybe a little bit tougher last year. Did, of course, win a lot of 3-set matches at the US Open.
Including the final.
Yeah.
Came back from a set down. So absolutely the mindset there would have played a big part.
Of course, she's the oldest of 3 siblings. Dad is here this week. So is Mum, I think, isn't she, Chandler?
She is, yeah.
Love. Love.
Every now and then it's forehand for Gauff that's just a little too open. She doesn't get the torque, get enough spin on that shot. There's been so few of those, though.
Oh. Isn't far away.
30-15. Ball.
He's actually got a good friend, Chris Eubanks, sitting right next to Andrea Petkovic down there as well. Of course, Chris and Coco, a very close relationship, both having hailed from Georgia, from Atlanta area. Spend a lot of time together, those two. Chris hanging around here, doing a bit of TV work.
He's rocking some great fashion too, really good shoes.
Cain.
Gauff getting a little wild on the forehand side in that game. Maybe signs of being just a little unsettled now, wanting to get this match done, seeing the finish line a bit. This is for a spot in the quarterfinals of this Australian Open. Winner to play Kostyuk or Timofeeva.
Yeah.
Another net cord that goes to Gauff.
Yeah, it's one thing to be good, it's another thing to be lucky with it. That's just unfair.
15 love.
And those net cords are, all 3 of them have been pretty much unplayable for Frech.
If she does reach the last 8 here, that'll be 3 of the 4 majors. She's done that in now. perhaps wasn't the finest volley. The opportunity was there, and Frech took it.
Just beautifully feathered on that lob. It was the perfect play. Gauff had closed just enough. Get it over Gauff's head at her height and with the hops that she has. It's no small feat.
Thirty 15. All.
Pass was on, wasn't it?
40.
She had a good look at it.
Yeah.
But Gauff just eats up so much space up there. Rangy at her height, and just feel like you don't have a lot of space to hit into.
Game, go.
Closing in on a spot in the last 8 in Melbourne for the first time in her career. The American a game away. Good news is she's conserved a fair bit of energy, Chandler, this first week and a bit.
Yeah, I was just thinking that Gauff hasn't really been pressed in any of her matches so far, but this one has been a little bit of a different challenge, and she's had to actually, I think, raise her level just a bit, and that's always a good sign that you handle whatever's thrown at you. You can't dictate how tough or how simple your matches are, but you can control how you handle it, how you approach it, and we've seen almost perfection from Gauff in that sense.
Time.
Been given the early shift most days as Coco Gauff so far in these championships. Been often been first on. Proving that there is absolutely no obstacle for her. She has once again looked to be in dominant mood. On the cusp of ending what's been a very good run for the pole.
Love 15.
And in case anybody wondered whether Coco Gauff is a star, I've been sitting courtside for an entire week, and this is the most photographers that have ever been here.
Fall. Love 13.
Trying to find a shortcut To be honest, it didn't actually miss by a lot, but it was an ambitious effort, moving backwards.
When it still looked like Gauff was going to get there
Yep.
with enough time to give a good reply.
Clinical.
Love 14.
It's been near flawless today from the US Open champion.
Fifteen, 14.
Good. Coco Gauff, for the very first time in her career, is into the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. A brilliant display as she sweeps aside the challenge of Magdalena Frech for the loss of just 3 games.
She was absolutely spellbinding, Coco Gauff. Crowd enthralled, and the scoreline doesn't show a lot, but Gauff, the way she came out, focused, explosive, aggressive, she just seemed so calm, so clear-headed, and it's been incredible to watch that maturation and to see it in real time. Great week for Magdalena Frech, who has had her best result at a major here, getting to the 4th round. She tried to throw everything she could at Coco Gauff, but it was just another level of opponent.
Yeah,
And
top 50 opens a few doors, doesn't it, Shanda, for her?
Absolutely, and this is the type of result, the type of match that she can build on for the rest of her season. Just shows her what she needs to shoot for, level-wise, because Gauff was awesome, and the smile in the end just seems so fitting.
Too true. Let's hear from her. She's speaking with Jelena Dokic.
Coco, that was quite a performance. You looked like you were in a rush somewhere. Where were you going? Did you have somewhere else to be?
I want to see the Iron Claw tonight, so I want to go to the movies. No, I'm not in a rush to go anywhere. There's no better court in Australia than Rod Laver, and it was an honor to play in front of you, so thank you for coming to my match.
That was actually my next question. So the man himself is here in his house, Rod Laver Arena. We all saw him when he came in. It's obviously an honor, but is it also a little bit nerve-wracking?
Luckily, when I noticed he came, I was like up a lot, so I wasn't too nervous, but like, you guys were clapping, and I was like, I know it's not for us, like it's like only the first set. And then I saw on the screen, and I was like, okay, it makes sense. So really thanks for coming to my match. And there's not only you, there's a lot of legends in the box over there, so thank you guys for coming.
Now, we noticed in commentary something, that you've got something written on your shoes. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so I have a lot of things written on my shoe. One is, you can change the world. The quote is, you can change the world with your racket. Something my dad told me since I was a little girl, and the inspiration of why I always feel like it's important to speak up and speak out about certain issues. And then another thing written on my shoe is the coordinates to the park I grew up at in Delray Beach, Florida. That's I grew up playing on public tennis courts at Pompey Park, so that's the coordinates on there. And then The last thing, I have my brother's name, my little brother's name on the shoe, Cody and Cameron. I know they're at home. I love you guys. And Cameron just got MVP for his football team, so I'm super proud of you, Cam.
That's very special. Does that give you motivation when you play? Do you look at that in matches?
Yeah, sometimes when I look down, sometimes my mom thinks I'm negative when I'm holding my head down, but no, sometimes I'm just looking at my shoes, and just a reminder that life is much more than tennis, and how I do out here on the court, it doesn't define me as a person. And I think that goes for everyone. Your workplace, whatever you do, doesn't define you as a person. Just surround yourself with good people, and everything that I do on the court is a plus to my life. I have everything that I need, and this is just all extra.
You've got this incredible maturity, humbleness, and gratitude about you. And I know that a lot of that comes from your parents. But talking about your parents, your mum is here. Now, I know your dad, at the US Open, he wasn't in the box, but he was always somewhere around. That was a new thing because he gets too nervous. Is he here?
Yeah, my dad is here. I don't know where, but he's here somewhere. My mom does better at holding her nerves in the box. So my dad, you know, sometimes he says some words that I can't say right here, and then I hear him and I get mad. So we agreed that he can go say them somewhere else around here. So if you guys see him, tell him I said hello, and I'll see him after the match.
But it's also now a superstition because you won the US Open when he was kind of around somewhere. So it's got to now stay like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not superstitious at all. He's incredibly superstitious. So, yeah, that was probably the whatever the tournament was. Wimbledon was probably the last time I'll ever see him in my box. Yeah, I don't think he's ever coming back.
Well, we did see him cry when you won, so I'm sure we'll see that again. Coco, congratulations. We love to watch you play, what you stand for. Well done. We look forward to watching you in the quarterfinal. Ladies and gentlemen, Coco Gauff.
That speaks almost as well as she plays. And it's been the case really ever since she burst onto the scene.
That's so poised, so much, you know, we use that word constantly, maturity, but it's phenomenal to see how she's grown. And she was so mature coming out as, you know, youngster, first tournaments on tour. But she has settled in, has really taken on the mantle of one of the statesmen of this game, and back it up with the kind of tennis that she's been playing, and it is a special, special combination.
Yeah, Delray rocks, absolutely right.
So grounded.
Yeah.
And gave us an insight on how she continues to remain grounded and think about her roots and think about, you know, the people surrounding her, and it's helped her play even better tennis. See the numbers there, and every single category pretty much for Coco Gauff. First serve points won. She's been leading the tournament in that department and continues to impress. Winners at will throughout that match. Very clean on the unforced errors and able to capitalize on all those breakpoint opportunities as well. So just tremendous effort for Coco Gauff, and what an opportunity for her getting to her first quarterfinal here in Australia. She's got a great shot for the semi as well.
Yeah, she's won with something to spare today, hasn't she? And as Chanda says, this section is open for her. Of course, there is Sabalenka in there, but in the next round it will be a non-seeded player. And we can confirm that it'll either be Timofeva or Kostyuk, and they're playing, I think, in a couple of hours from now, Chanda.
Yeah, this is the section where Maria Sakkari lost in the second round. Also Haddad Maia, who was the 10th seed. So Kostyuk and Timofeva with, you know, tournaments of their careers so far, and great opportunity for them in the quarterfinals. One of them will get a chance to play against Coco Gauff.
Yeah, Chanda, it's been a pleasure. Next up, we have got Novak Djokovic. She'll be up against Adrian Mannarinos. Don't go anywhere. That's coming up shortly.